we take this conference. Now, it is my duty that Professor Visvesvaraya, in spite of so many hurdles, he said that I will be there because it is my college and I have to be there. When you ask me, I see that I will be there on that day, and today, in spite of so many hurdles, he has been with us today here, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our all the design technology, and the man is here, and he has done so much. I'm so humbled. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. Yeah, another person, Professor H.G. Dattatreya. And when I saw his biodata, first in SSLC, first in PUC, and first in acting. And where is this thing? He studied in Indian Institute of Science. And how many of you, how many of us can think of being in Indian Institute of Science? And that is H.G. Dattatreya. And we are very thankful both from UVCN and now the giant among the UVCN is Professor S.S. Iyengar. And he said, you know, that is H index of 43. And you know, it's not so easy. It's not so easy to get even H index of 2, 3, 10. The average US professors H index is around 50. So where is 43? Where is 50? And where is 10,000 citation? You can imagine Rajkumar Bhuya has a citation of 35,000 and H index of 82. And they're still just 40 years old. You know, his citation, his annual citation is 6,000. That is higher than what CNR Rao is having now. CNR Rao is having citation of 5,300 and Rajkumar is having citation of 6,000. So that is the type of students we are producing in UVC. That is the type of alumni we have. You see, out of 6 AICD chairmen, 3 are from UVC. That is the greatness of UVC. Now, what can be said of Professor L.M. Patnaik? Sir, you have been the leading light, but for him, this conference would not have started. He is the father of many conferences in this country. ADCOM, HIPC, now here we have IMCIP. What a wonderful personality. He is first in computer science in this country. In this country, indigenously produced, Professor L.M. Patnaik is with us. Now, Professor, see, when I heard H index of 30 when he was appointed as Vice Chancellor, I was worried because many people in they do not know about H index. They thought, what is this H index? Why should this H index come? And only the person who has done research knows what is H index. And that tribute, and we are very privileged and very glad and honored that he has accepted to come again and again, year and year to this conference and encourage us and inspire this conference. Now we have Professor M.P. Chaudhaya. Professor MPC is the teacher of Professor S.S. Iyengar. And mechanical engineering. And you see mechanical engineering, where is mechanical engineering and where is the great giant in computer science and engineering? That is called interdisciplinary research. We call it interdisciplinary research. And that credit goes because Guru cannot be forgotten. And sorry sir, even though you just, I did not expect you here. Today you are here and your student is getting recognized and felicitated. Thank you very much, sir. We have with us Professor R.M. Raghunath, we have Lokesh, we have Siddhanand, we have Krishna Gowda, we have most of dignitaries in this. Delegates, whoever has been here, it is a source of inspiration for us. And we have all the best paper awardees. In fact, out of 8, all the 7 are here, and one more is going to come tomorrow and receive that award. He is from IIT Roorkee. IIT Roorkee. So you can imagine that out of 129 papers, 100 papers are from NITs and IITs. And what a wonderful thing for UVC to have. Out of 129 papers, we have 100 papers from IIT and NIT, and that is a tribute to our own ancestor and the founder of this institution, Sir M. Visvesvaraya. And how can I not forget those great people? And lastly, I have to thank the volunteers, the teachers. And you said, Professor Vijay Sundaram said, there was no single girl student in UVC, and today 90% of this We have Shaila working round the clock, and when the delegates come and say, sir, you answer my emails regularly. I told I don't answer. It is my student who opens the email and answers. And we have Deepa Shinoy and KB Raja, editors for this proceedings. What a wonderful job they have done. We have Triveni, Manjula, and all my colleagues in the department and Bangalore University. I cannot remember that I have been given an opportunity to deliver this vote of thanks. Thank you again. So enjoy and spend these 2 days, and I hope that your interaction will be fruitful and will take India to a much higher plateau with this type of conferences. Thank you one and all, sir. Thank you all the great dignitaries on the dais. Thank you.
On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to hand over a memento as a token of appreciation to the General Chair, Professor L. M. Patnaik.
Okay, I'll take it. Sir. Thank you.
Thank you all. We have come, and after tea there will be a keynote address in the same hall at Senate Hall. The topic is going to be obvious net on routing algorithms and applications. Please assemble back by 10:30. Thank you.
On topic obvious network routing, algorithms and applications. On behalf of organizing committee, 8th International Conference, MCIP 2014, it's my immense pleasure to welcome Dr. S.S. Iyengar sir, and I would like to briefly introduce about Dr. S.S. Iyengar sir. Professor S.S. Iyengar sir is the director and writer, chair professor in computer science at Florida International University, and is also the chair professor at various institutions around the world. His publications include 20 books and over 600 research papers. His research interests are high performance algorithms, data structures, sensor fusion, data mining, and intelligent systems. He is a world-class expert in the computational aspects of distributed sensor networks. He is the fellow of IEEE, fellow of ACM, fellow of AAS, and fellow of STPS. He is a recipient of IEEE awards, Best Paper Awards, the Distinguished Alumni Award of the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and other Lifetime Achievement Awards. He has served as the editor of several IEEE journals and is the founding editor-in-chief of this International Journal of Distributed Sensor Networks. Sir, I would like to welcome you for this technical talk. Please welcome, sir. This has enormous applications. The applications that we have tried are smart grids, and I'll show you a couple of interesting applications. Now, what is very interesting is, we've been working. In fact, I had 2 PhD students who worked with me. We started this work when I was at LSU, and there was a student by name Srinivas Rajagopalan from IIT Madras. He started this work and he graduated. Then when I came to FIU, I was still trying to put a very solid foundation to this network. See, normally, whenever we come up with a new idea, especially in the network design, there's been a lot of work going on. So we wanted to really put a very nice solid foundation. So bear with me, you will see a lot of mathematics in this mathematical structure and the foundation for this network. Because, without a good solid computational foundation, nothing works. We may do a lot of simulation, but it may not have any meaning. And so that is one thing. And now you see my other PhD student is a very brilliant student. As a matter of fact, if you have seen, he is from University of Tehran, #1 student. Books, MIT Press. So when I was convinced this oblivious network design is very important and has a lot of applications, so we wrote a research monograph to start with. So before that, we wrote several papers in transaction and computers. One is about to come in Journal of ACM. But we wanted to make sure the foundations on which we are building this oblivious network design has a lot of important features and what kind of flexibilities we have, especially for communication networks. Now, so we submitted to MIT Press, and MIT Press within no time accepted and said we will publish this. And I was so fortunate, and maybe I've been lucky also. The reviewers' comments were phenomenal. I never had in the last 40 years of my career, because one of the reviewers said, publish it immediately, new work. So, with that as a background, so I'm hoping, and I think there is a award, with a new discovery, and then along with the discovery, there must be a good, well-documented impact. So now you will see with some of our examples, a very beautiful impact, especially on power grids. Smart power grids are very common on that. So with that as a background, now this also supported by a lot of federal agencies. NSF is the most important and a very prestigious organization in the United States. To get funded is very competitive, like many of the funding agencies here. So I have been blessed with continuous funding from NSF. So you remember, I'm competing with folks and people at MIT, Stanford, and Berkeley. So what I really wanted to show that we can certainly do much better work what they do in other universities, if you have a passion to do something very unique. So finally, I think this is perhaps the last testament, in my career of 40 years, this is perhaps the one which stands out very clearly what I have contributed. So, Konstantin Busch was a professor at Rensselaer Polytechnic, and then he joined LSU. He was from Brown, and a very good, strong theory person, because you see, many of these network design, it is not just a protocol that we are talking about. How flexible is this network design? The networks are normally subjected to lot of oblivious, non-deterministic conditions. That if you look at it, this network, we have consolidated all into minimal spanning trees and graph-connected components. You'll see all the mathematics, but if there is a little boring, I'll go a little fast on that. But what I really wanted to do is to sort of give you an idea how important is this work. And actually, this is a major talk I'm giving here first. Then there is some talk I'll be giving at Tsinghua University in China. See, that's another good university in China. So I'll be sort of wandering, different places and see how good, and get some comments on this. Go to the next slide. So I will also tell you, Florida, I don't know how many of you have visited. Professor Patnaik, I know, has visited many times.
a very beautiful place. I am on South Florida. It's almost like Bangalore, you know, because there's a lot of coconut trees, a lot of mango trees. The weather is ideal. It's very close to the ocean. And go to the next slide. So you will see a lot of similarity you know, with many of the cities that we see in India. Go to the next slide. So this is about, so this is actually, the reason I show you this map is, you know, this university is about, of course, 18 miles to the beach, and then it is also very close to many of the major research centers, because that's one of the advantages, and it is also a sort of a hub to many of the Latin American countries, so there is a lot of, you know, interesting communications and things like that we can do. Go to the next slide. This is the beauty, you know, it is somewhat similar. Go to the next slide. So you will see, I want to show to sort of inspire all of you to focus and getting interested on this. This is a connection to the Key West. I don't know if you have visited. So that is almost like Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu. It is almost to the end of the world. So it connects the Pacific, Atlantic, and then Gulf. The way in which I want to start, just an introduction, you know, what is an oblivious network design, and what is the classic network routing that all of you know, examples and some illustrations, and then what has been the motivation for us to sort of look into this particular network, and some of the related work, some of these sketches of proof, because I wanted to sort of give